Hey guys, Judith with Four Corners from Jay. I have my notes here. I want to talk a little bit about Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, just very simply, is considered the Jewish New Year. We're going to go into year 5779, and it's also the celebration of creation. Specifically, it's believed that Adam and Eve were created on this day. So there's tons of thoughts and controversies on, is this day Babylonian? Is this day even biblical? And I'm unable to unearth hundreds and thousands of years of teaching. I'm going to let you know my developing thoughts, where I am now, my current convictions, and you're welcome to send me information and what you think. So, one of the arguments is there's a new year that was established in Exodus 12. It begins the month of Abib or Nisan. God told Moses, this is going to be the beginning of your year. And that's fine, but I don't think, just from what I'm learning, it's not necessary to have one new year. There are different yearly cycles that occur in the Bible. There's the creation that we can count for. There is the birth of the people Israel. There's also Yovel, or Jubilees, that talks about a yearly cycle there in Leviticus 25. So the arguments that we already have a new year and the Rosh Hashanah is not the new year, it's no longer an argument for me. Oh, let me share one of the things that got me thinking and kind of considering, like, what's up with this Rosh Hashanah. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't really see it in the Bible. I'm trying to learn about it myself. The one question I had was, if we have a new year, new life, new creation, why would we go straight into repentance and needing atonement? If we were ever to have a new year, it would make more sense to have it after Yom Kippur. Until I remember biblical truth, biblical history, that we had creation and then the fall. And we go straight into repentance and the need for atonement. The Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur timeline, it matches the creation story. So that is what got me started, and that's where I am now. As for it being a Babylonian concept, the creation of the world and the creation of man isn't a Babylonian concept. It's a global concept. There may be Babylonian influence, but the Babylonian influence does not negate creation of man. So to say we're not celebrating, we're not having anything to do with it, like, we're here living now. We have something to do with it. There is creation, and there is creation of man. So that the Babylonian influence, search out what that actually means. If you notice there's Babylonian influence and you're supposed to come out of her, then come out of her. But to celebrate New Year, creation man, that sounds more like a global concept versus Babylonian concept. Okay, I'm going to go into how we celebrate, or ideas on how to celebrate Rosh Hashanah. I have a video on it, but I just want to touch on it a little bit here. Making round challah. Instead of just the loaves, challah loaves, make them round and put fruit in it for Sweet New Year. I've done that. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that this year. Another idea is an apple cake. I love my apple cake. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do it this year, but that is another good one. Honey cakes. I've never made one, but the whole apple and honey is to usher in a sweet new year. There's also, we can slice up fresh apples and serve it with fresh honey, or honey of whatever degree. That is another treat to have at your Rosh Hashanah. And the new moon cake, I just learned about this. There's this family and they made a round cake, chocolate cake, and they coated it in chocolate frosting and then did a sliver of a new moon shape on it with like just frosting. I was like, that's cute. So I hope to this year do little cupcakes and just frost them with chocolate, or I think I'm gonna do pink frosting on some of them, and do a white slivered little moon on it, and maybe sprinkles for the stars in the background. That is a tradition that I may begin this year. Another tradition I'm going to begin this year is minimizing my social media. From Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, I want to be able to really engage in the whole introspective and searching it out and praying for my nation and my circle, and minimizing social media should help. I actually have a video on how I plan to celebrate the 10 days of awe, and I have that mentioned in there. Another way is the new journal. I have journals. I have a little video on how I use my journals, but I started last year getting a new journal on Rosh Hashanah, so I have a new one ready to go. I'm going to back up a little bit and talk about this month, Tishrei, that we're going into being the time of creation. Just some more information than I got that makes me feel confident that yes, this would be the beginning of creation. Someone brought to my attention that the month Tishrei, the Hebrew name is Etanim. So I looked that up in the Strongs, and I found that the root of that is simply translated to enduring. Etan, or Ethan, simply translates to enduring. Other translations would include enduring, ever-flowing, firm, hard, normal state, perennial, running water, secure ones, and unceasing. That, all those words, I think, would also define creation. So some may argue that creation didn't happen during this time. The name of the month seems to describe creation. So I'm leaning towards and currently believing that this month that we're coming into would be the time that creation occurred. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm letting you know this is where I am. You're welcome to send me more information. Now, I took the Hebrew word and I did the Hebrew pictograph, and I'm not like a scholar at it. I'm not thoroughly learned in it. There's just so much information online. I found Hebrew pictograph. I plugged in the letters and I saw the definition of the letters. For those that don't know, each Hebrew letter has its own meaning, has its own story, and so you put it together and it tells an extended story. So Etan, and I'm going to put it in sentence form. What it translates to is a strong leader, who I interpret as Yahweh, whose hand, who I believe is Yeshua, and his work and deed bear the mark and sign of the seed, activity, and life. So one more time. There's the 4 letters. Strong leader, whose hand, work, and deeds bear the mark and sign of the seed, the activity, and life. That sounds like creation to me. So those are reasons why I lean towards this would be the time of creation. This is reasons why I lean towards celebrating it, why I lean towards it being an acceptable time to remember and observe. So that is where I am now. Again, this is just Hebrew pictograph, Strong's, and just various places that I've been looking online. I have someone actually challenging me about it, and so she's causing me to seek this out more myself, and I appreciate that. All right, so enjoy. Shana Tova.